Member for Durack.
Thank you, Speaker. My question is to the Minister for Social Services. Will the Minister inform the House on the Government's commitment to the NDIS and its plan to fully fund it? Are there any alternative approaches that would hurt hard-working families?
The Minister for Social Services.
Thank you, Mr Speaker, and I thank the member for her question. Of course, the member knows that the NDIS is a massive reform project, and the member knows that even the most worthy and important expenditures on reform have to be paid for. The member knows that they can either be paid for through savings or taxes or borrowings. And of course, the government's commitment to the NDIS is absolute. We're also, of course, determined to try and fill the funding gap left by members opposite of $4 billion with savings rather than taxes or borrowings. And the member also asked about alternative approaches. And I think one was illustrated by an answer that the Leader of the Opposition gave again to Ms Sabra Lane on radio yesterday morning. And the question was put to the Opposition Leader, Labor never fully explained how it would pay for the scheme. The response was, well, I was there in 2013 when Jenny Macklin outlined we would increase the Medicare levy and we would make other savings. Now, I mean, to the credit of the Leader of the Opposition, at least he didn't answer it in Morse code like the Shadow Treasurer, but there is still a slight problem with the answer in that no one from anyone on the members opposite can provide us with any details or any firm figures around what these mysterious other savings are. And, Mr Speaker, it's all very 1960s, you know. They used to say that if you could remember the 1960s, you weren't there. Well, the Leader of the Opposition was right there, alongside the member for Jagga Jagga. He just can't remember what the $4 billion worth of savings were. And that is simply not good enough. When pressed again at a doorstop yesterday morning, Mr Shorten, in Labor's 2013 budget papers, you described some of the money going towards the NDIS as selected long-term savings. What are those savings? Answer, you have to refer to the budget papers. So, to a question that says the budget papers are not clear on what these other savings are, the answer is refer to the budget papers. I mean, that is an amazing answer to a $14 billion funding gap in the most important reform that either of these two governments have ever engaged in. And, you know, there was nothing in the budget papers, nothing that would provide any explanation. There was an off-Broadway sort of budget glossy which had a thing called Chart 3. And that did, you know, announce a saving, point to a saving. One of the savings it pointed to with respect to health insurance. That saving was first announced on 22 October 2012, with the member for Lilly saying the saving taken will help return the budget to surplus. It was re-announced in my EFO saying the saving in this measure will be redirected to partially offset the cost of the dental health reform package, and then it was re-announced in the budget glossy as being applied to the NDIS. The member for Lilly didn't spend it once, he didn't spend it twice, he spent it 3 times,
The Minister's
Mr
time
Speaker.
has
Unfunded.
concluded.